You are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin.
What is going down? What the fuck is going down? It is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Studio MacGyver's Random Gameplay Pimpin'. Welcome to the show, guys. If you're new to the podcast, welcome to the show. If you're into anime, nerd culture, and most importantly, video games, then you've come to the right place because we talk about all of that shit here. Without further ado, guys, we're going to get into the show. Excuse my voice. I am sucking on cough drops and I have a sore throat and I'm trying to fight through this. So just bear with me, guys. I'm trying to get through this episode. But there's a few things that I have to discuss on this show. And we're going to talk G4TV. We're going to talk some Capcom. We're also going to talk some, I can't believe I'm saying this, Silent Hill and some Gotham Knights, of course, and Black Adam. Yes, a few things to discuss. First, I guess I'll start with G4TV. G4TV is shutting down, guys, only after a year has went by since its relaunch. Now, that is saying something because it's not the same. It never was the same. If you guys have been following G4TV, you know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, G4TV kind of blew up back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, like around 2010-ish, 05, around that time frame. I don't know the exact day, but it was my jam. It was my shit. I used to watch it religiously, and it was a great show, and it was geared towards 18 to 45, males for the most part. And they had a lot of wonky shit going on aside from the video games, but beautiful women. You had Morgan Webb. You had hosts like her and some others as well. Olivia Munn is a very popular one. And she actually came up off of G4TV. Beautiful woman who loved video games, loved the nerd culture type thing. And they made actually video games cool. They made loving video games cool back when it started to finally gain some traction. Because most of us who've been around a while and we've played video games, you know that it wasn't always the popular thing to do. It was almost taboo in certain circles. But now it is a billion-dollar business. Almost everybody plays something, whether you're a casual gamer playing on your phone or whether you're somebody like me who invests a lot of time and money into their gaming, all systems, multiple systems, consoles, and all of that. Covers the stuff, loves it so much. That's what I'm doing. That's the whole reason why I made this podcast, because I love gaming so much. But anyway, G4TV was that show. I loved it. It went down. The production ceased for a while. And they try to bring it back. I think they went wrong in so many different ways. Okay, there is a such thing as being overwoke, in my opinion. And this is coming from a black guy who knows all too well the do's and don'ts, the ugly truths behind all of that stuff sometimes in this crazy, stupid world. But there is, in my opinion, a such thing as being that. And I'm not saying that was the only reason it went down. I just think they were out of touch. I think too much time went by. They got out of touch and they weren't using G4TV like it originally was meant to be used. Okay. Beautiful girls, bikinis, stupid games, stuff like that to get that male audience involved. That's what they were doing. And they didn't do that when they returned. Okay. They did hire a lot of cool people who had their own spaces. Austin Creed was a guy who was a wrestler / gamer. Love him. And he loves games and he does his own thing, his up, down YouTube channel. And he's, an advocate for gaming. Same thing with some other guys. There's another cool YouTuber on there who was working for them. And he went by I think his YouTube name is The Completionist. And his whole YouTube channel is based on him taking a game and basically platinuming the game. Okay. Does everything, creates every achievement, gets every achievement, all that shit. So that's how he blew up. What they weren't doing was adding or trying to stay true to the old show and trying to change it up. Okay. It didn't work. I think it was way too long and they ended up losing touch, and that's where we're at with it. So it didn't last 1 year. Okay, 1 year. That's all. That's all. And it also goes to show that TV is not the same. TV is not the same as it used to be. It's not. Everything is run on individualism. Everything is, separate now. HBO and YouTube and all these other these platforms, they have their own channels now. It's crazy. I mean, when I watched Halloween, I literally had to buy Peacock for 1 month just to watch that. And they know this and they use that to their advantage. Okay. Because you can get just as much knowledge and even sometimes better quality shows or better content, period, from a YouTuber, a guy who lives right down the street, who works at Starbucks during the day. Okay. But he's dedicated and loves his craft so much that he's going to give you what you need out here in these YouTube streets for whatever you're looking for. Okay. And that's where it's going now. That's just where we're at. So those guys will be fine. Everybody who was actually hired on, I think they're just going to go back and do their original stuff. And, their followers are still going to be there and all that. Like I said, I'm not really surprised that it went down in smoke. Okay. And what's so crazy about it, though, in my opinion, is how they handled it. Some of their employees found out literally on Twitter that they had no job. Okay. That was the most unprofessional, shitty thing that they could ever fucking do as a company. And that is a travesty in itself. Okay. So I'll put that to bed. I won't leave that alone. But yeah, that's where we are on G4TV, man. RIP G4TV. They can never take away the good years that they had. There's some great years. Like I said, Olivia Munn, and some of those hosts back then. All right. We got a lot of news this past week. And I mean a lot. Okay. And one of my most favorite things that we got to experience is we got some information from Capcom on Resident Evil. We had a Resident Evil showcase. All right. They ended up showing us some Resident Evil Village third-person gameplay, which is dope. Most people don't, if you don't know, Resident Evil Village was a first-person game. I'm not really into too many first-person games. I'm not saying I haven't played any and I won't or wouldn't, but I'm more of a third-person type of guy. And they have, I guess, listened to the fans and decided to concoct a third-person version of this game. All right. And it's coming out. I don't know when that one is coming out. Should be coming out soon, but I do know that they have a demo available right now. So if you want to check it out, there's a demo available right now that you can download. I haven't had time because I've been playing other shit, but I am going to download it and test it out. And the demo lasts for 1 hour. So you can do whatever you want to do for 1 hour and then it resets. Now, me personally, I don't know if it's going to be a 1 hour time thing because sometimes the way they do these demos, man, it's crazy. Some are timed for a certain time for a date. So they'll give you 1 week and then after that, you can't play it anymore. They did that with some other games in the past. And then some will you can play it as long as you want for that 1 hour and you can just keep it moving. So it just depends how they're going to do it. But I do know if you guys want to play it or test it out, it's there. It's available as this podcast is being heard. Okay. So definitely check that out. But my excitement was for Resident Evil 4, the remake. Resident Evil 4 is my favorite Resident Evil game of all time. And there's a lot of good ones out there. Okay. Resident Evil 2 is definitely a very good one. It's right there. But Resident Evil 4 for me is the best. Okay. The remake, I've been waiting on it. We got a release date, March 24th, 2023. They've announced all kinds of different versions of this. One I'm really looking at is the collector's edition because you get a fucking statue. They're doing it big. They're doing it big with this one here. And I'm here for it. Okay. Pre-orders are up now. You can actually go do it. I'm probably guessing that Resident Evil 4 collector's edition is gone, but it couldn't, I might be lucky. Who knows? We'll see. I need to stop buying collector's edition stuff though, because I don't have room and we're in the process of doing a lot of moving around, for the final move. And, I don't know if I can, I don't know if I should get that for the space, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm just excited. We got some gameplay, guys. Very, very excited about this. Cannot wait to play it. They've added a lot of different twists and turns to this. If you're wondering, it is going to be available for all platforms, for most all platforms. I don't know about Xbox One, but I know PS4 for sure. PS5, of course, PC. Yes, of course. And you're going to be able to stream this as well on the Nintendo Switch. So Not a fan of streaming games and probably will never be that, especially paying full price for a game to stream it, for it to be sitting on a cloud. I can't do it. No, I can't do it. Too many things that it still isn't quite up to par. And that's even if I'm living in a great area as far as the Wi-Fi and all that, I still wouldn't do it. That's just me. We're not there yet as far as technology, in my opinion. I need that shit buttery smooth at all times with no hesitation. And even then, I'm still wary because I can't grab it. I can't reach out and touch it. I can't hold it. I can't download it to a physical piece of media and play it whenever I want. So basically all your freedom, you're paying someone to have your freedom in their hands and they can do whatever they want, whenever they want to it. That's not good. Okay. Not going to do it. But anyway, let me get off that train. I'm just excited for the game in general. I cannot wait to play it. It's going to be sick. It is going to be sick and I cannot fucking wait. Okay. I thought I'd let you guys know. Definitely, if you're curious, check out the gameplay, check out, the video, the presentation and all of that. All right. Now let's talk about another franchise that has been so in need of a resurgence. It's been crazy. I'm talking about Silent Hill. All the Silent Hill fans rejoice. You're going to fucking be rained down on with nothing but Silent Hill shit. Okay. Silent Hill is going big. Konami they went for the Hail Mary and God damn it, they did it big. All right. And when I say big, this is what I mean. They have 3 new games and 1 remake. Okay. In development. All right. Most of this stuff, before you get too excited, most of the stuff is way off. I'm talking about most of this stuff. They're just literally sitting in boardrooms, sipping on sake, hopefully not making bad decisions, but sipping it slow and just working out stuff. Okay. They didn't have anything to show us except for one of the titles. And I'll get into that in 2 shakes of lamb's tail. We'll start with the first game. One of the games mentioned was called Silent Hill Ascension. Now, this is something new. This is something I've not really dabbled into, but this could be a future of a lot of gamers. For a lot of gamers, it's basically an interactive video streaming experience. So it's kind of like a TV show, which you can actually interact with. So they take like votes and you can actually vote on certain things that you want characters to do. And depending on how many people voted on that will be what they will do. And then that will trigger another event and you will get a result based on that event. Oh, my bad. My phone is on. Fuck. Yeah. So it's very different. I'll say that. Okay. I'll definitely say that. I'm down for that. I'm actually intrigued by that, to be honest with you. So we'll see where that goes, man. We'll definitely see where that goes. But that's not the one I'm most excited about. I'll get to that as well. But there's another one. This is a movie actually though. And this is called Return to Silent Hill. And it's going to be based off the sequel from the 2006 movie, the first movie. If you guys never caught those Silent Hill movies, there's 2 of them. And they're both pretty fucking good, man. Especially the first one was really good. Like, I remember when it first came out, I was like, man, they're doing a movie based off this. I don't know. The shit was good. Okay. The shit was very good. Both of them, in my opinion, were very good movies. And that's rare sometimes when you see movies converted from video games and and sometimes vice versa. But yeah, I can't wait for this. Like I said, early development. This is going to be a sequel to the original. That's what they're going for here. So be on the lookout for that. Like I said, you still got ways to go. I think they're still casting for that. So yeah, it's going to be a while before we see anything new on this. But the fact that they've got all the stuff in development and they're showing us, that's cool. And this is what I mean when I say learning about certain projects can be a gift and a curse. But if I had to choose one, I would always choose to know and then not know, because something like Silent Hill in this franchise, people have been fiending for this franchise for so long. Give us something new. Anybody, especially if you're somebody who likes horror and horror games like me. And I remember playing all the Silent Hill games as well. Okay, I pretty much had all of them. And I remember staying up on the weekends playing with friends and stuff like that. We're here for Silent Hill as well. I'm definitely here for Silent Hill. I can't wait for all this stuff to happen. Now, there's another game called Silent Hill Townfall. I think that's where they're going with it. That is to be determined. Okay. This is all I know is that this is set in the same universe as Silent Hill, and that is it. And that is also new characters. I'm wondering how they're going to do this, how they're going to, what the take is going to be on this universe, because I'm sure there were more victims and more people who experienced this. I guess that's what they're going to try to show us, and how that happens or how they're affected. So definitely can't wait for that. There's also, I'm hearing about Silent Hill F. I don't know if that's one and the same with one of these, but that is what I have for you guys right there. The last one I want to talk about is Silent Hill 2, the remake. Now, this is what everybody's been waiting for. This is what people want to see. And we actually have a little gameplay, a little bit shown to us from this game. So they has made some changes. There were some changes made. The only major change that they made is that it's going to be behind the shoulder kind of camera view, which is kind of like God of War-esque, if you will. Instead of the camera would have just backed out all the way out. And I think that's a good move. Also, they're going to be using the Unreal Engine 5 with this game. So you're going to see some great graphics. You're going to see that next level shit. Okay, that's where most game developers are moving towards now, that Unreal Engine 5 shit. And that shit is crazy. That engine is crazy. So I can't wait for that. The shit looks good. And backtracking a little bit to Resident Evil 4, some of the things that they are adding there is also going to sweeten that experience. Okay, they've added a counter button. I meant to mention that, guys, a counter button so that you can literally counter. There's a scene that they show where there's a guy with a chainsaw and he's literally swinging it around. And as he's swinging it around, he's standing next to his house and he's cutting the fucking house down. It's the environment is actually destructible. So he's using that. He attacks Leon with the shit. Leon blocks his shit with a knife, kind of basically his counter, so he can catch his, breath and figure out what he wants to do next. And it looks great. They're also adding different movements to a lot of the enemies. There's adding a lot of different nuances to basically brighten up the experience, to modernize the experience with that. So I'm looking forward to that as well. I can't wait. And I'm going to have a ball playing these games. Okay. And yeah, if you're a horror junkie and you're into these horror games, man, you got a lot of stuff to be looking out for, grateful for. You also have Callisto Protocol. You also have the remake of Dead Space. And these games are coming right around the corner. So I think one is December and one is fucking January. So you got a lot of stuff to look forward to as a gamer, especially one who's into horror games. So be on the lookout for that, man. Now we're off of that. Let's get on to some other interesting tidbits. And this proved to me that most reviews are, I take them with a grain of salt, man. They're very subjective. All this shit is very subjective. I use reviews personally for a light reference, just to get an idea on some shit. Okay. And usually I'm watching spoiler free ones at that. I'm talking about the Black Adam movie, guys. And I recently saw this movie. Okay, over the past weekend, saw it on Thursday. Matter of fact, didn't even know it came out on Thursday, but sometimes they release these movies a day early. I took my son and took my kids. We went to go see it, right? I hadn't watched a review or anything on it at all. Just watched the movie. After I finished, I gave the movie an 8 out of 10, a good solid 8 out of 10. Okay. I thought it was a great movie. Wasn't the best or anything like that, but I definitely thought for a DC movie in that universe, I thought it was excellent. And I just said, you know what? I'm curious. I wonder what other people are talking about. Let me pull this shit up. And lo and behold, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 48%. And I'm seeing all these other ones and the press is saying how the movie bombed and all of this shit. And I'm like, what? Wow, we wasn't looking at the same movie, I guess. I don't think. And it just goes to show you, Black Adam, Black Adam is one of my favorite DC characters. He's one of the ones. And I think I had some reservations about the movie because The Rock was playing Black Adam, and I have nothing against The Rock. Love The Rock. But the problem with The Rock to me is he's too fucking big. He's too Hollywood. Like he's in fucking everything. And it was really hard for me to try to not see The Rock, as opposed to looking at Black Adam. And that was what I was struggling with. But aside from that, I mean, shit. Movie was great. Characters were excellent. Hawkman, all these characters that they had, great characters. And I'm very excited to see where they go with these characters in the future. If maybe some of these other characters get their own movies and things of that nature. And the ending credits, they have the same thing like Marvel. You watch the end credits. I'm not going to spoil anything because in case you're planning on going to see it, I'll wait a week before I bring that up again, the Black Adam stuff, if I do. But yeah, I'm not going to spoil that stuff, guys. But yeah, it's definitely got me excited for the DC universe for once, besides the Batman movies. Okay. One thing DC always has, in my opinion, is they have great Batman movies and they have excellent animated movies. Like pretty much everything they do animated, their animated studios who do all those movies, they're excellent. Okay. They need to take that same recipe and apply it to the DC franchise, the DC movies. Okay. The MCU. Not the DC movie, whatever you say it, the DC movies. Okay. They need to apply that there. And I think this is a decent step towards the future with this movie. Now, I say all that to say that I'm just going to stop looking at so many reviews, guys. I'm going to look at, when it comes to games or movies, if I see a preview and I like what I see, I'm just going to go, if I feel I need to see it or want to see it, I'm just going to go see it. I'm not going to look at 100 reviews and all this shit and try to fucking make somebody point me in that direction or away from that direction. I think a lot of us are caught up in that. We really are. And I'll talk about this as well when it comes to Gotham Knights. This shit is subjective. There are going to be biases towards a lot of this stuff as well. There's going to be people who aren't fans of superhero movies or fans maybe of The Rock or whoever, and they're going to go in here and they're going to say things and do things predicated on how they feel about that said subject. And it's not going to be a true review score, if that makes any sense. All I'm saying is the only person we should be worried about when it comes to reviews are ourselves. That's just it. You want to really know what I mean by that? Take a piece of paper, write down some of your favorite movies, maybe 3 or 4 of your favorite movies. Go Google reviews on those. Okay. I did this and my mind was blown by some of the movies that I thought were fucking beautiful and excellent and everything to me, but to the critics, they were fucking shit. Okay. And that's what I mean by that. That's all I'm saying. Their reviews do not matter any more than our reviews. Your review is the number one review that matters. Okay. And you shouldn't fucking be pigeonholed to believing a movie is trash because so many people say it and following what other people think about the movie or a game or whatever. And just do it. Just experience it yourself, man. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can say. And I'll leave it at that. But the movie Black Adam was definitely, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, was definitely worth the money. Definitely worth going to see. If you're into DC, I highly recommend this movie. If you're into Black Adam, I highly recommend this movie. And there's some other characters in this movie that I think you're going to enjoy as well. And like I said, it was great. It was action packed. They did a lot of shit in this movie, man. So, I mean, they did. Mad love to the people behind this movie. Definitely. So check it out. Hopefully they do another one and we'll see where it goes, man. But yeah, that's how I feel about the movie. Definitely check it out. Now, last thing I want to talk about before I get out of here. This is going to be a short one. Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights. There's a lot of shit going on surrounding this game, guys. There's a lot. And it brings me to my same point about Black Panther. There's a lot of people shitting on Gotham Knights. Now, I know why they are shitting on Gotham Knights. I've played it for over 20 hours. I'm here to tell you right now, the game is awesome. The game is awesome to me. The game is awesome to my son because I can't fucking not play it without him begging. He literally begged me the whole weekend. Okay. That I had let him play. Okay. I said, okay, man, here you can play. I'm taking a nap or I'm going out to go do this. And he's like, can I please play? I said, okay. He loves Red Hood. I said, all right, use Red Hood, but do not do any story missions. Okay. Go out there in the city and solve crimes and stop crimes and stuff like that and get you some XP, but don't start the story until I'm here. Okay. And so that's what he was doing. So I came home, watched him play. Then we did some story missions and we just got the feel for the game. And like I said, guys, I'm a huge Nightwing fan. I love Nightwing to death. I love fucking, Talon from the Batman universe. If you guys don't know who Talon is, he's a member of the the Court of Owls. He's like an assassin. He's basically an assassin, awesome, kind of like a Deathstroke type of character in a sense, but he's more so weapons, like knives and swords and shit like that. He's not really, he doesn't use a lot of guns and shit like that. But yeah, he's an awesome character. Love his design, love everything about him. And luckily, this game draws on all of that. It draws on some of my favorite characters because I'm also into, the side characters. So I love Batgirl as well. And Robin is an awesome character in this game. Jesus Christ. And I know there's a shit ton of Red Hood fans. Okay. Like I said, it's a game that, like I said, Batman is not here. And the story, to be honest with you, was like one of the main selling points to me. The fact that Batman is dead and you have to pick up the mantle. And it's like I said, I'm still early in the story. Like I said, because I played a lot of just getting to unlock all the characters, certain things, and trying to move around the city and get a real feel for the game before I started getting into the story stuff and, trying to buff your characters a little bit. I'm digging, I'm having a blast. And I'm hearing from a lot of other people that they're having the same experience. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I mean, I think the real reason why a lot of people gave this game shit, and there's some reviewers out there who don't, who feel the same way I feel and are singing the praises of this game and think it's a pretty good game. I give it right now. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 right now. It's an 8 out of 10 for me. And I'm going to tell you why most people, in my opinion, are shitting on the game. The ones who are shitting on the game, I believe, number one, most of those people are most of these guys are reviewers. Like IGN gave it a 5 out of 10. I cracked up laughing when I saw that shit. Who the fuck did this review? IGN, whoever did it couldn't have been a fucking Marvel fan. Okay. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, but like I said, everything is all subjective, man. Maybe they're not into superhero games. Maybe they thought it was too repetitive and they didn't like the grind, because this game, you are going to grind. You are going to grind to get your experience points to level your character up. It is a RPG. A light RPG at heart is what this game is. And I love RPGs. It's an open world RPG. That's what it is. Just in a hero backdrop, in a DC backdrop. So that was right up my alley. Here the characters have hit points and all this shit. You have elemental damages and electric and fucking ice, I think fire and shit like that. And I think you also have another one, which is, I want to say is concussion. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. There's drops, there's outfits, shit, random drops and things of that nature. So I'm here for all of that. And I love grinding in my RPG games. I always have. I always will. And like I said, the grinding is not for everybody. I personally couldn't see somebody picking up this game, which people have done. And most of these reviewers have, because they don't have time to sit there and take their time with these games. They have a certain amount of time that they're allotted to play a game and review it. Then they have to move on to the next game. So most of these reviewers are forced to get these reviews out by the time the game comes out. And they're playing multiple games and they're writing multiple shit. And a lot of these guys are journalists. They're not really, gaming is a part of their life, but it's not, at the top. A lot of these are just journalists. They're like writing and shit. So you got to take all that into consideration as well. And this is a game that if you're not grinding or if you're not doing side missions and stuff like that, then you're not playing the game correctly, especially if you're into the lore of these universes and you want to get all in there like that. That's how the game's meant to be played. If not, why are all these objectives here for you? Of course you can skip them. Yeah, sure you can. But I mean, they're there for you to explore and do all that stuff. That's just me. That's just how I feel about it. I think that's part of the reason. I think the other part, and this is the most important one, I think, to a lot of people, is the fucking frame rate. Okay. The 30 frames per second thing. Okay. I think that's got everybody's panties in a wad because, and I'm not going to lie, I was disappointed by that too when I heard that. I definitely assumed that it was going to be 60 frames. Hopefully, maybe one day we do get an update for that. But like now, since I'm playing it, I have no issues with it. I haven't even played an online game yet because, this is co-op. You can also play online co-op if you want. I just hadn't felt the need to do that yet. I'm still working on characters and doing shit. So to me, I'm just like, whatever. But that is a possibility if you want to do that. I think that did hurt me. And that's why part of the reason why it's getting 8 out of 10 and not, higher for me is because of that. And there was a lot of people talking about the combat and they compare it a lot to fucking the Arkham series. Okay. Now, I've been playing, before this came out, I was playing Arkham City a little bit. And I have to say this, whoever said that the combat was janky in this game is smoking sherm sticks, in my opinion. The combat in this fucking game is excellent to me, in my humble opinion. It's more fluid. It's more realistic. If you go back to an Arkham game and fucking get it, go in those fights. I'm not saying they're trash, because Rocksteady did an excellent job with those games, but it's aged. You can tell. Batman, literally, he's hitting somebody on one side of the screen. Then he floats kind of over to the other side like a magnet to hit somebody else. They do similar things in this game, but the way they do it in this game is more fluid and more realistic. It doesn't look forced like it does in Arkham. And now this is coming from an Arkham fan, like a true fucking Arkham fan who played all the Arkham games. Like, yes. Okay. So the combat is dope. The combat is easy to play, hard to master. And what I mean by that is that there's hidden combos in this system. The way they have this system. Let me give you an example. Square is, the main action button, but how you use it is going to demonstrate what happens. Okay. You have your ranged attacks, which is triangle, and you have your melee, which is square. Now, square, you can hit kind of like, think of it like the same, like the Arkham games. Like, okay, you hit square 2 times. If you do it 3 times, you do a combo. If you hit it once and then hold it down, you do another combo. Then they have this thing where if you punch or if you hit it and then right before you hit the opponent, you hit it again, you do another combo. So, and then you can mix and match all these things. That's what I mean by the combo system. And you can also integrate things like running and sliding and using your using your what do you call it? Your shit when you shoot in the air and basically you can traverse with it. I can't think of the word right now, guys. It escapes me. But there's a lot of things besides that button that you can integrate into these combos and do. So I'm telling you right now, the combo to me is a blast. The most characters I'm having the most fun with right now, believe it or not, are Robin and fucking Batgirl. So Robin, Batgirl, and then my boy, I'm a huge Nightwing fan, which is Nightwing. And Nightwing is, in my opinion, you have to upgrade him and basically give him a few more abilities, and then he starts getting good. So Nightwing gets good late game once you start getting his shit, and then gets really fun and shit to fuck around with. So, like I said, there's a lot in this game. And then I haven't even played with Red Hood because my son's been playing with him. So I might take him out in the next couple of days and try him out and see what I can do with him. But yeah, and you can unlock these moves and your stuff in any order you want, so there's a lot to it. There is definitely a lot to it, guys. And I'm having a blast. I don't understand what all the flack is because, like I said, I can sympathize with them and the way they handled telling us about the 30 frames per second, because they knew that it was going to stir us up. They should have just told us, and them holding on and not saying anything about it and trying to kind of hide from it. That was a bad look from them. I will definitely admit that. But as far as getting my hands on the game, playing it for 20 plus hours and still playing it, like last night, perfect example, I came home about 11 o'clock at night and I played it until like noon the next day. Like straight up, like all night into the fucking day. And I've just had a nap today. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys, that if I'm playing a game like that, there's no way I don't like the game. Okay. There's no way at all. So I will say this for people who are on the fence about this game and you're still undecided about this game. If you are into DC characters, the DC universe, any of these characters, I recommend you play this game. I recommend you play it. And that's coming from me. If you're an RPG fan and you into that as well, and you like grinding more so, because to me, it doesn't feel like grinding. It's just fun. Like I just go out here and find out new combos and find out new ways and to do things and find my own strategy of how I take out these guys, these enemies. And I'm having a blast. And at the same time, I'm learning about characters. I'm learning about the lore in this world and things of that nature. I love it. And also it's a little darker than I thought that it would have been. There's a lot of cussing. And I invite that. I really do, because that's why I love that show Titan so much. And it was kind of breath of fresh air when that came out. Like, I think was that 2018 when that came out? Yeah, something like that. So, like I said, being a Nightwing fan and watching his transition from Robin to Nightwing and just the darker side of that stuff, you get a chance to look at that. And I love that show. So this game is kind of like a reflection of that in a lot of senses. So I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody story-wise and all of that. I'm just going to say that if you are into this type of stuff and you love DC or you love comic books, period, I think you should pick this up. Okay. Even if you're a Batman fan, because you can be a Batman fan and still enjoy this. Like I said, Batman's not in the game. You're not playing as Batman, but you can still get so much enjoyment out of it. It's the combos, the combat. I enjoy it so much. And each character has their own thing to bring to the table. Batgirl, she is like a tank. She has a tanky build. She's the closest thing to Batman. And if you're looking for an Arkham type feel, that's what she is. And she's also, she's good with tech. She's definitely good with espionage, that type of stuff. Robin is more of a stealth character. He has a lot of stuff unique to him, being in stealth mode where he's also a huge elemental buff character. Like, he can really fuck people up quickly with his elemental, damage, man. Cause he builds it up so quick. He can light you on fire. He can electrocute you. He can do all kind of shit. He's going to be definitely a dangerous character, especially for crowd control and stuff like that. Oh yeah, definitely Robin is the shit. Okay. That pole, he's got long range with it. He's a master with that fucking pole. I love it to death. What else? Who else? What else? Okay. Nightwing is kind of like the Captain America of the group, the leader. He's, a master. He's, more of I want to say all around type of character. But mainly his strength would be his momentum, because this game is built off momentum. So when you hit people and you're beating up enemies, your momentum bar fills up. And once you get a certain amount filled in that momentum bar, then you're able to do a special move or a special attack. Okay. So he's basically, if you spec into him the correct way and you get him a little bit higher level. So when I get him to level 30, he's going to be very dangerous. So he basically is a momentum machine. Everything he does creates momentum. Okay. He has momentum. There's actually one on there where he actually has momentum build up for doing nothing. Just, okay. Just in the background, he's running on momentum. Okay. So he's just begging to use his special abilities all day long. So that is what his specialty is. And then you have, Red Hood, which is just a powerhouse, just a butch type of dude. He gets in there. He's hard. He hits hard. He fucks people up in major ways. And his pistol gameplay is pretty fun as well. From watching my son play, I'm like, in my mind, in the back of my head, I'm like, you know what? I bet you I can really do some crazy shit with him. Cause my son, he's just kind of like shooting around doing his thing. He's doing his thing though, but I think I could like really do some shit with him though. But so, yeah, I mean, like I said, the game is dope. I don't know what else to say about it, guys. Just, you can't, all the reviews, you can't give them that much power is what I'm saying. In your mind, if you're watching like gameplay, if you're just watching somebody play it and you're like, man, I really want to play this. It looks fun to me. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be fun to you, no matter what those reviewers said. Okay. And I've seen a lot of shitty reviews. I read a lot of reviews who shit on this game and I'm like, it didn't change me one iota. And I'm so glad I never listened to that. And I just took my gut instinct and I bought it myself. Could I be biased a little bit because I'm a fan of these characters? Yeah, maybe a little bit, but not enough to where it's just a bona fide fucking lie or anything close to that at all. Okay. The game is easily a good game. Like I say, 7 out of 10 is considered a good game. You know what I'm saying? So I've heard a lot of people say that it was about that. And there's some who are like more like me. Some people are giving it more than like a 9 out of 10. Okay. I gave it an 8. And like I said, the reason why I gave it an 8 is because of the 30 frames per second, not being 60 frames per second. And that's really the main thing for me, right there. Like I said, the motorcycle gameplay is pretty good. It's not anything to write home about, but it gets the job done. The only other thing that I had a quarrel with the game, as far as aesthetics are concerned, is when you're on the bike and you're flying through the city, that cape, if you're wearing a cape, it just hangs to the side. It's not really animated, at all. And that's my only pet peeve. And the reason why it was so much of a pet peeve to me is because they did so much, their job they've done on these capes is excellent. Like the physics on that shit, on these capes are, I think some of the best I've ever seen. And that's why I was kind of like taken aback by, what it was doing on the motorcycle. I was like, on a bike, it should be flowing, like flapping in the wind, shit like that. And it's not really doing that. It's like laying down, on the person's character's back or whatever to the side. But outside of the bike, and you're just running around, flying around, moving around, punching, swing or whatever, that the physics are on point. It would actually do what an actual cape would do if you were wearing it. So that's my discrepancy with that. So like I said, the suits, the cosmetics, oh my God, fucking excellent, man. Like they did a great job on the characters. A very good job. Photo mode is also awesome. They had a really dope photo mode. I've been playing around with it a little bit. I'm going to post some pics in the next week or so on Twitter. So definitely check me out there. And yeah, like I said, I'm happy, man, for the game. Very happy. Cannot wait to get back into it. And that's just my take on it, guys. I'll leave it at that. If you guys liked the show, I want to say, come back next week. We do this all the time, every week, Monday morning, same bat time, same bat channel. I want to thank everybody for listening, downloading, streaming this. If you want to show more love or support, you can easily do that as well. If you go to studiomacgyver.com, or if you want to show some love, you can also go to dragonballdrip.com, and anything bought on any of those sites, coffee cups, t-shirts, hoodies, whatever, all the proceeds will go towards helping out the show. Okay. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'm going to play some more Gotham Knights. This is your boy Studio MacGyver, and you have been listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. See you next time.